Okay, let me know. I'm on now, I believe. Okay. Let me know if you can see that. That would be helpful. I'm using StreamYard here, so it's kind of new to me. But yeah. Anyway, I want to talk about my video from yesterday. What not to do in the Philippines. This is very important on what you do when you first get here, to fit into the culture, to learn how people operate. Good video and sound. Okay, good. Thanks, David. I was wondering. It's so you can hear me okay. Let me try this. Let me know if you hear this okay. Okay, that was a sound effect. Let me know, Dave, if you hear that one. This is uh, this is a microphone setup. My wife used to do live streaming, and now I'm doing it. So we hooked it up last night. So if there might be some bugs to work out, but we'll work it out. But I mean, I'm not. You didn't hear nothing? Okay. Well, I'm not sure why, but that's fine. It was just an applause type thing. But as long as you can hear me and see me, we can work on the other stuff at some point. So how's everybody doing? Dave, how you doing, bud? Nice to see you here. If you had a good week, I was just saying earlier, it's been good here. It's been really cold, actually. I've had to wear the blankets the last 3, 4 nights. And I say really cold, it was down to 75 degrees. So I'm sure you guys aren't feeling sorry for me. But it was rather different. Your blood thins out as you get used to the weather here. And that's kind of what happened. I get cold very easily. I mean, I tried to go in the pool yesterday. I had to get out. I couldn't stand it. It was too cold. Because we haven't had a lot of sunlight here lately. But it's better than the alternative. I saw the newscast this morning from where I used to live. Mount Washington was minus 27 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's cold. So I'm not going to complain about 75. So yeah, I don't know if you guys watched my video that I posted last night about the culture here and how to fit in, and things to do, things not to do if you're going to live here. Um, there's a lot of things to do. People here are very shy. Um, they won't approach you. You'll never see a Filipino really approach you. I mean, there will be some, but in general, they stay clear because they're too shy to approach you. They don't want to say something and feel embarrassed. So, in me, I'm the total opposite. I'm not shy at all. I'm one that just will talk to anybody. I'm always been a people person. And it's probably because of my line of work, being in the grocery business and having to deal with 10 to 15,000 customers a week. I would always be out there greeting them. And so you learn not to be shy, but it's an adjustment. For somebody like me, I'll walk right up, talk to somebody. My wife laughs every time we go into the drugstore or something, and then I'll end up finding somebody to talk to. And then it'll be half an hour later. She's done her purchase. She actually starts to leave because she knows. Oh, David, warm spell here, 80 to 83 AC. Come on, wow, in Arizona. Yeah, Arizona's like that. That the weather's so unpredictable in Arizona. What I liked about Arizona was really warm during the day and it got real cold at night, which is perfect for sleeping conditions. So yeah, enjoy that weather actually, Dave. Just asked Mark. Hey, Mark. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. Nice to have you on. Thanks for joining, my friend. I didn't know I posted a members only video yesterday. I didn't know if you had a chance to watch it yet, but it's out there if you want to watch it. I'm going to do a members live stream at some point coming up soon, but we'll see. We'll see when we do it. I've got a few other things. We're doing a bunch of projects outdoors right now, my wife and I, and we're building a nice little seating area by the pool. And I'll probably do a video of that. Dennis, hi Joe. Sorry for the late start. That's fine. Enjoyed the membership only video. Very informative. You're welcome. Yeah, I was just telling Dave about it. Okay, Mark about it. I'm sorry. Yeah, Mark, I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, I figured I'd give you guys more of an inside look of me, where I came from, how I grew up, in my whole life. It was never perfect for sure. Nobody has a perfect life. But one thing I did, my experience was I learned from the mistakes I made in the past, and that's kind of why I did that video for you guys. Um, Life is never easy. Growing up was, had its moments for sure, but everything's turned out well. I never thought growing up I would end up in the Philippines retired. That was nowhere near my radar. And I'm sure that's the same for a lot of you guys. I need some water. My voice is hoarse this morning. So yeah, I mean, don't ever give up on whatever it is your dreams are. Focus on what your goals are. Set your goals and just pick them off one at a time. That's kind of what I did, and it worked out good. But it really helped that my wife is so supportive of me, and she always has been. And so, when you got a partner that supports you 100%, you're gonna go places, and that's probably the most important thing to remember. Is the support from your loved one is what you need. It's not always like that. I got a lot of guys over from where I used to live in New Hampshire that are married to Filipinos, and their wives support them, but they don't want anything to do with moving back here to the Philippines. And that's rather difficult because I got two of my friends that really want to come over here and retire. And so if you've got that challenge, I understand what you're saying. And all I can say is, maybe give it a try. Try to convince your spouse or whatever to give it a try. You don't have to come over here and buy real estate, dive in deep. Take 6 months to a year, come here, try it out. And then if you don't like it or she doesn't want to be here, which is kind of unusual in my opinion, because if you're from the Philippines, you would think you would want to come back here to spend time with your family and friends. And that was my commitment to my wife. It's not easy for her. I mean, she spent 22 years in America away from family and friends. So it was my obligation, I felt. And plus, I wanted to. I've been wanting to come here for a long time to bring her back. And it's working out great. She's not working. Neither one of us work. She spends all her time. We do things around the house. She spends a lot of time with her family. She's going up there this morning. We have a celebration, a religious celebration next week up there. Something they do every year. We usually get 200 to 300 people show up, and she's going up there, and they're building a like a gazebo type thing, and so that's what she's getting ready to leave actually. So I was gonna go, but I've got my live stream, so you guys, I'm not gonna put you guys off, so I can go up later on. This is kind of the plan, but yeah, my whole point is just keep going, don't give up. And when you do get here, how do you fit in with the people? Well, like I mentioned in my other video there, the people here are very shy. A lot of times they're afraid to talk to you because they're afraid to offend you, and they will never say no. The Filipino will never tell you no. What they will say is later. I picked that up right off, and they laugh about it because I always say, "Hi, you want to go in the pool? You want to do this? Want to do that?" And they say, "Oh, later." And they kept always saying later, and I kept thinking. Then I figured it out. Later never comes, and I translated it back to them. I said, "Oh, I know what later means." And they said, "What's that?" That's the polite way of saying no. And they start laughing, bursting out laughing, because they know I figured it out. So, and that's kind of what you get here. You're going to get a lot of things like that. And you learn these things as you've been here, like I have. Um, and so every time, oh, later, I say, okay, no, just say no, it's okay. But they won't say it. It's just them being polite. They don't like conflict at all. It's so different. I mean, in America, I was never one to back down. If I had a strong belief in something, I weren't backing down. And I'm kind of still that way. I've changed since I've been here. I don't get into conflicts. I used to in the US with people all the time, not all the time, but on occasion. And when I did, my wife calls me hard headed. Okay. And yeah, I've always, if I believe in something, I'm not backing down. And it's completely different over here. And that's why you're seeing a lot of expats, all the stuff that's going on. You're seeing expats in trouble all the time because they bring that same mentality here and they don't back down. This is one of the adjustments that, if you're like that, you have to make if you're going to make it here. Okay, Dennis, wild that. We actually predate computers and cell phones. Yeah, so nice not seeing cell phones in everyone's hands back in the day. We actually went out and subscribed, socialized. Yeah, no, you're right. And it's like that here now too. I hate to say it, but that cell phone bug is in the Philippines too. And one of the biggest things that drives me crazy is when we go into a restaurant, I don't bring my cell phone, and nobody should. I go into the restaurant and there's 10, 15 people sitting there glued to their phone. Now, I was always brought up when you sit at the dinner table, that's the time when the family talks, and we just it's family time. It's not the time to be on Facebook or chasing the latest drama or what's going on. I mean it's it really is different, Dennis. When I first came here, it was complete. Nobody had a cell phone. I didn't have one. Back in 2001, I didn't even have a cell phone. I communicated with my wife through Facebook. I mean, through email, because Facebook didn't come around to 2004, and that's when I started communicating there. But it was like a year or two after it came out because I didn't jump on the bandwagon to start. I remember the first social media site was what was that? MySpace. I don't know if any of you remember that, but that was like the first version of Facebook to come out, and I remember I did join that. So if you were on MySpace, let me know. I thought that was actually funny. But yeah, I mean, oops, my headphone fell out. But going back to fitting in with the Philippine people here, just be yourself. Um, don't act like you're better than anybody else. Okay, and if you do that, you'll be fine. Um, be sincere. If you say you're going to do something, you got to do it. Don't say you're going to do something and don't follow through. I mean, that just looks bad on you. Um, they won't say anything to you, but I have noticed one thing: if there's something they don't like, they're going to talk to other people about it. I haven't experienced this, but I've seen it. I've seen it happen. They're not going to confront you. They'll go talk to their friends, and next thing everybody's talking about it behind your back. That's only because they're too shy to confront you. And I know in America that's completely different. If somebody says something bad about me to me, I will confront them. That doesn't happen here. Good morning, Jim. Nice to have you here. Thanks for coming on. Uh, I have seen couples sitting across from each other at a casual restaurant and they're both, yeah, no, that's the whole point, Jim. That's one of my pet peeves. I mean, it's disrespectful to the partner, your spouse, wife, whatever the case may be. It's just not the time and place for it. We spend way too much time on our phones, and I'm guilty too. I'm not going to say I'm not because I'm on social media and I'm on my YouTube quite a bit. Um, but you've got to get away too. You've got to take the time away from it. Um, I do. I like when I get done with this stream, I'm going to go outside, do some work in the yard, and probably hit the pool. Um, I'll spend, I usually spend 1 to 2 hours a day in the swimming pool because it's a good workout actually for me. And I don't mind. I like to swim anyway. I used to be a lifeguard back when I was young and I was a young stud. Laugh out loud. I can't wait to have dinner with you, Joe. I treat. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Wow, a meal with no cell phone. Yeah, no, you won't see it from me, my friend. I won't, that cell phone won't be anywhere near me during, if I'm visiting with somebody, like if you were to come to my house, I'm not going to be on any cell phone, no computer. I won't even have it near me. It'll be in the house, it'll be plugged in or put away. Like I said, there's a time and a place for that. And the time and the place is not in the company of other people. I mean, it's rude. We've become very rude in our society, especially in America. Not so much here. People here, I've never been treated rudely, and I've been here for a long time, off and on, and living here for almost a year and a half. And they don't treat you rude here. They just won't say anything. Um, you know, because like I said earlier, they're too shy. Dennis, you're still a young stud. You get out of here. Like a fine wine, get better with age. Yeah, well, I'm not worth much, Dennis, but thank you. Yeah, I feel younger now that I'm here because I don't have no schedule, no deadlines, and no stress. I'm telling you right now, moving here takes all the stress and the deadlines away. And quite often you wake up, yeah, I don't even know what day it is. Obviously, Wednesdays I know because it's my day to stream with you guys, but most of the time I have to go to my phone and see what's today. Is it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? I mean, it's really kind of hard to describe because I was always on a scheduled deadline every day. Every day I had to be somewhere at some certain time. And it took me about 6 months to get rid of that thought process when I got here. I kept looking at the clock. I kept thinking, you're never late here. That's the other thing. You're never late for anything. It goes right back to Filipino time. Um, no such thing as being late. Now, it might drive some of you crazy. I mean, it would have drove me nuts if I was in America. But if I told you I was going to be somewhere at 4, I would be there at quarter of. That's just the way I was always brought up and taught. And so when you first get here and you tell somebody 4 and they show up at 4:30, 5 o'clock, you're gonna have to get used to it. Accept that it's gonna happen. Don't invite somebody until you actually want them there. So if you want them there at 6, you tell them 4. They'll be there at 6. Jim, I am close to your age, and everyone called me sir. Yeah, they still do. After a few days, thought that they call me Sir Joe. That's what they call me here. That's always what they call me. They're very respectful. And that's the other thing about being here. You need to be respectful to the elders. They have this custom here where you grab their hand and you put it up to your forehead. That's a show of respect here. At first, when I came here, I didn't know what the heck was going on. Um, you know, so I mean, kids do it to me all the time here. And now obviously I know what it means now, but you have to respect your elders. And another thing about respect is, and at first I had a hard time understanding this, but whenever you go to any event with the Philippines, in the Philippines, whether it's a birthday party, you're going to have to eat. They stress that you eat, and they're going to insist that you're the first one to eat. They do it to me all the time. And for me, I always want everybody to go before me, but no, they'll come right over. They'll literally hand me a plate and they want you to go eat. And you, even if there's something, you're not hungry or something, you should make the effort to at least take some food and eat it. It doesn't have to be a lot, because if you don't, they're going to think you're disrespecting the food. And they take pride in the culture and the food and what, at their parties and all that. They want to satisfy you. That's the way you have to look at it. Okay. Dennis, on that same thought as Jim, I'm wondering if the Filipinos call you Joe. No, it's always Sergio. Um, they don't call me Joe. It's Sergio. So yeah, they call me Joe, but it's always Sergio, no matter where I go or what I do. If they know my known name, that's what they call me. It's a show of respect for me. So respect goes a long ways here. If you respect the Filipino people here, you're going to go a long ways and you're going to do well. You'll be very successful. That's my experience. And I hate to keep saying this, but I've never had a bad experience. And it's not like I've only been here a short period of time. I spent 15 trips prior to moving here, back and forth, and we'd spend 3 weeks to a month and never had a bad experience. Um, because I learned early on that you have to respect people, and then you understand their culture and you accept their culture, and they're going to accept you. That's the easy way to put it. It's pretty straightforward. um, they want they're very proud. People here in the Philippines are very proud, and it's not like the U.S. In the U.S., it's how much money do you have. A lot of times, people with money in the U.S., they look down upon you. At least in my experience, you get certain classes of people, and if you're not in that middle, the upper class, you may not be accepted. It's not the case everywhere, but it was always you were looked down upon. It's not like that here, because there's a lot of people here that have no money. And one thing, Shelly made a comment on my video last night about, I had mentioned, be careful when you make jokes about joking around, because they could take it the wrong way. And that's very true. And she had asked about it, because she says, well, quite often you see them gathering and then they'll be laughing and having a good time. And I said, yeah, because a lot of times they understand each other. Um, when you tell a joke, they may not understand what you're saying, so they're afraid to comment. So they may not just say anything, and you're going to start automatically think that, well, I must have offended them. No, it's a lot of times they don't know how to react, because they're shy. And that's kind of the point I wanted to make. I mean, I know a lot of people here now, and I tell jokes all the time with the people I'm close to, her family. They all understand me. We all get along great, and we laugh and carry on all the time. But they know me. They know how I am. And that's really the biggest thing. Once they get to know you, yeah, you can tell jokes and do things, but don't go into, like, let's say, go to a bar or a coffee shop or something. Don't go and start telling jokes to people you don't know, because unless it's another expat, obviously. But as far as Philippines, just stay away from that until you really get to know who you're talking to. It's just my best advice. You just don't want to offend people. Okay, Larry. Good morning, Larry. I hope you're doing well today. My first social media was a Store radio in the '60s. Wow, that's pretty awesome. No kidding. I'm sure you got some memories and stories from back then. See, I wish I could get all of us together in a room. I like to tell stories, and I love nothing better to sit down and listen to people's stories. I got a lot myself, um, and I try to tell them on YouTube here with you guys, but sometimes it's difficult. The best sit. Hi, Shelley. That makes sense. Thanks, Joe. You're welcome. That was a good question last night on that video. I wanted to make reference to it because I want people to understand how it does work. But yeah, no, I love to tell stories, and I love to hear other people's experience and stories. It's really fascinating to me to understand people and their backgrounds. I'm very inquisitive. I love to watch people. I'm pretty good at reading people, and people's body language alone will tell you 1,000 different things if you know how to read people. And so, Larry, I bet you got a lot of. I would love to sit down with you. I'll do an interview. If you don't want to be on camera, we can just sit down and chat. I want to talk to different people. I want to understand your backgrounds and your history. All right, Dennis. I hear that's why they call all guys a lot of the time, based off old GI Joe, I guess. Yeah, old GI Joe. Who had GI Joes growing up, huh? I remember having a GI Joe with Kung Fu grip. I wish they still had it. It's probably worth a lot of money. But yeah, that's those are back in the good old days. I grew up playing with GI Joes. I had the old electric racetrack. Oh, what else? We played a lot of board games. Monopoly was one of my favorites. I can't even say it. Stratego was one. We just, that's what we did. We didn't have anything else to do, you know, and it was a great experience growing up. Lex Armstrong here. That's, there you go, Mark. That's awesome. So, I mean, some of my favorite things growing up as a kid were, we used to get tons of snow being from New Hampshire. We would go sliding every day. We'd go out, all the kids would be out, and we had curfews. Our parents would tell us, you got to be home by 8 o'clock at night, because we were never home. Nobody was home. We didn't have computers and cell phones. I wish it was like that now. You can't get people out of the house. I mean, you just can't. It drives me nuts. Dennis, the best gift ever was Evil Knievel. Oh, I had that same thing. Yeah, I got that. I had that too. Was out in 10-degree weather, watching the morning, having a ball. And yeah, weather didn't bother us back then. We went sliding every day. That's what we did. My parents didn't have a lot of money. Some of my friends had snowmobiles, but we didn't because we just didn't have the money. I used to ski. I learned how to ski. I was actually a pretty good skier. I was really good friends with an Olympic skier. You may know him, Bodie Miller. He's won numerous medals, gold medals, everything in the Olympics. I grew up with him, and he was a little younger than me, but he grew up 10 miles from me, and he was one of the world's best skiers. But that's what we did. I mean, I had three ski areas within 10 miles of me, major mountains, big mountains. I had Loon, Cannon, and I had Brenton Woods. And so that's what we did. We went out and skied. We did things outdoors. Uh, don't remember anything indoors. I mean, if it was a miserable rainy day, that's what we did. We played Monopoly or we played board games. My best friend at the time growing up, we had the old HO scale racing cars. And we'd have a ball race. It was an Aurora racetrack. I don't know. I wish I still had that. That we had so much fun. But that's what we did. We played indoors. We family was a lot like it is over here now. Family spent a lot of time together. It wasn't. It's different in the U.S. now. Everybody's on a dead run all the time, and over here it's the opposite. It's nobody's on a dead run, and family is number one. So yeah, what else? The hospitality, yeah, I just talked about that with the food. Yeah, just make an effort to make sure you try the food, whether you like it or not. That's what I do. I'm not a big fish eater, and they eat a lot of fish here. but I eat tuna, and that's my favorite, and salmon. Those are my two favorites. Jim, my favorite board game. Yeah, Risk was awesome. That's another one, Jim. I had that too. I played that a lot. There was so many good ones. Um, and then I collected, as you guys know, I collected sports cards. God, I had over 500,000 cards. I still got I get the most valuable ones still. I probably got about 50,000 cards still in my collection, going back to the 70s, some in the 60s. Those are valuable cards. I got some cards worth some money. But that's what we did as a kid. We collected cards. I had collected every set for like 12 straight years, all the way up growing up. And I remember putting the cards in the spokes of my bicycle and running around with it. That was kind of funny. Now I wonder how many high expensive cards got damaged and thrown away because of that. But anyway, I'm lucky to still have my collection, actually. It's worth quite a bit of money, actually. So I'm going to pass it on to my kids when I go on. I've already sent I probably sent 400,000 cards to my oldest son. He has them up in Vermont. He lives up in upper state Vermont. He just called me the other day. Said, Dad, it's cold as hell. He's the one that came here and visited me, actually. He said, Dad, it's cold as hell. I want to go back to the Philippines. He wants so bad to be here. But, he's just had a newborn daughter in December, and they've got to make their life. If I had all kinds of money, I'd say, yeah, come on over, I'll support you, but I don't. But they're going to make another vacation. We're going back in May to see my kids and stuff. Mark, I have a bunch of baseball cards with kids still. I wish kids still did that. Yeah, but I'm afraid it has become lost. Yeah, no, and not only that, Mark, but prior to moving here, I was still actively collecting. But I was like, I couldn't believe the prices of the stuff that they've got out there now. It's like, you got to be kidding me. I remember paying like 15 cents a pack for tops back in the 70s. And you can't touch cards now. It's expensive. Like everything else, it's all about the money. But no, that was what we did, Mark. It was collecting stuff. I've always been a big collector of a lot of different things. You see behind me, well, no, you can't see it, but I showed you the video on my train setup. I've had that a lot of the stuff here, um, with my train collection. I've had since I was a kid. I've always saved it, and I still have most of it. It's here in the Philippines with me. And a lot of people are probably like, well, why would you go through all that effort to save all that stuff? Because it's part of my life growing up. I wish there's a lot of stuff I wish I still did have, but I don't. But I'm lucky because I have a lot of memories and all the stuff that I do have. And I find myself now that I'm older, I sit around and I'll go look through my yearbooks. I see friends of mine that graduated that have passed on. And I think quite often about all the good times we had, and that's important. It's important to reflect back, whether it's good or bad, you know. And that's why on my members video, I wanted you guys to know some of the inside details of my life. They weren't always good. I mean, I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, but you know what? It's worked out good for me. I retired at 58. Never thought that would happen. And it wouldn't have if I was in the US. I'll be the first one to tell you that. I could be retired, yes, but would I live like I live here? No. Living here in the Philippines is like living in the 70s in the US. That's probably the best way to describe it. I mean, I don't know where else you can live the lifestyle that I live for less than $1,000 a month. And that's because I don't have bills. I mean, granted, there's a lot of guys like me over here, but they rent houses. I mean, I got a good friend here that he rents. It's like 45,000 peso a month. So that's around $900. I don't have that expense. Okay. I can't stress enough that you need to be debt free. I mean, it's not easy, but you've got to make the effort to go after it. And then when you won't regret it. If you plan on moving here and you can do it and not have any bills, yeah, you can live on your Social Security and save money actually. Okay, Dennis, back then you could get great baseball, yeah, and a piece of gum. Yeah, no, I and and now I still look through my cards here on occasion. I got them all in albums and everything. And the value of the card goes down if it has the gum stain on the back of the card. I don't know if you guys knew that, because I had some of my cards graded, and you'll lose 2 percentage points on your from a 10 to an 8 if it has that gum stain on the back. So as a collector, you cringe when you think about the gum thing. But that was, as a kid, the gum was great too. I mean, but the best part was the card and then the gum. But obviously they don't do that anymore. Mark, let's see. I purchased a complete set of tops each year for decades, plus a bunch. Good for you. Oh, that's awesome, Mark. So you got some really nice cards. Boy, see, I'd love to sit down with you. We'd have a hell of a conversation. We could show each other our collection and everything else. I kept the most valuable. I didn't keep everything, like I said earlier, because I just didn't want to ship it all. If everything from 50 cents to $1, I gave everything, all that stuff to my son. So I mean, he's still got some valuable stuff over there, and he's got a nice little sports bar down in his basement. So he's pretty proud of the cards. He's very happy about it, actually. He's displaying them and stuff like that, and that's what I want. I'm lucky that he appreciates uh, what I did growing up as a kid. Because what do they do today? What do kids do today? They don't do anything. I don't care what. I mean, very seldom you find very few kids today collect anything. Um, and if they do, it's usually for money. Like today's sports card industry, it's all about finding a valuable card and selling it. That wasn't the case back in my day. And to this day, I could sell off my collection and I'd probably bank a couple 100,000 from it. But it's not about the money. If it was about the money, I would have done it a long time ago. Um, just think about this collection I have in another 20 years when I'm not here. My kids are going to benefit from it. And if they turn around to sell it, that's fine. But as long as I'm around, it's sticking with me. Jim, what do you think of NIL in the transfer portal? Oh, I don't like. I haven't. I've lost so much respect for college sports. Um, Recently, the NFL with their stupid halftime show. Uh, they're all disrespectful. Everything's about the money, and everything's now. Unfortunately, it's all agenda driven. And so, I mean, yeah, I watch the Super Bowl. My Patriots got their butt kicked, but that's fine. They made me proud. They had a good year. They were lucky to even be there. So I don't. There's only a few events I will watch, and it's usually the big ones. I'll watch the Super Bowl. I don't even have TV here, guys. I have a TV, but I don't have. I watch YouTube on it, and that's about it. I don't have anything else. Um, because usually there's nothing good on there. It's all everything's indoctrination today. It really is. You will clear your mind of that when you get here. I was heavily into politics back in the day, but over here you don't. I mean, I still follow it, but it doesn't affect me here. Jim, I am like you. It was better back. Yeah, 70s were great, and 80s. We didn't realize it at the time, but think about it. We didn't have conflict. We really didn't. Nothing was polarized. Everybody get along great. Um, we appreciated family. Who remembers riding in the back of a pickup truck back in the day. Or my parents had a big station wagon, and us kids would all pile way in the back. You can't do that today. They do it here. I mean, I was talking to my wife about it the other day. It was probably 10 people in the back of a pickup truck going down the road here in the Philippines. And I was laughing. She said, "What are you laughing about?" I said, "Well, this used to be America back in the 70s. We would all pile in the back of the pickup truck and go down to the park or wherever it was we were going. And it was accepted. It's the way it was. Was it risky? Yeah, I guess. But, you know, whatever happens, happens. I'm not saying, you shouldn't do it. They they can do what they want here. It brought back a lot of good memories. Um, we did stupid things all the time back then, but it was normal. And you find a lot of that still going on here. Not necessarily stupid, but things as a kid we used to do. And the biggest thing I get a kick out of is riding in the back of the pickup truck. It really is. That was fun. Mark, great memories of both riding in the back of a pickup truck and sitting. Yeah, backwards in it. Yeah, no, I can't remember the station wagon we had, but it was a big one. I remember it being big. It had the wood panels down the sides. It was kind of cool. But we were excited. We used to get excited. We did a lot of camping as kids growing up. Um, there weren't today, if you don't have $250,000 RV in the US, um, that's camping over there now. Not back in the day. We would get the old tent. We'd go out and we'd have a hell of a time. We went camping all the time as a kid growing up. And we learned how to survive. I was a Boy Scout, Cub Scout, Boy Scout, lifeguard. I did all the things that kids don't do today. I don't even know. I guess let me know if you guys even know if Boy Scouts are still even out there in the U.S. Because I'm really not sure. But I remember I was so proud to get my Cub Scout uniform, my Cub Scout hat. I thought I hit it big. I was proud of myself. I laugh when I think about it, but that memory's still there. I still remember being in Boy Scouts and all the things I learned how to tie knots. These are things that are missing today. Today it's like, okay, let's get on TikTok or let's do this, let's do it. I mean, and you see it in the culture in America. You see it in the schools. Kids didn't protest. They didn't go out in the streets and protest against anything. You respected all your elders. You respected law enforcement. You did everything. That's the way we grew up. At least I grew up. And I really do. I. It's sad. It's sad for the kids today. I'm sorry I'm getting on a soapbox, but it does make a difference. It really does. So, but over here, you don't see any of that going on. You just don't. Um, but yeah, share me your thoughts. What you think? Was anybody here in Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts? Um, how about Girl Scout cookies? Those were my favorite. I used to love the Girl Scout cookies. The tag-alongs, those were good. But those were all the kind of groups that we supported back then. You know, we look forward to it actually. One thing that surprises me here in the Philippines, guys, is a lot of people, Filipinos, they don't know how to swim. It amazes me. I'm living over here with 7,000 islands around me, and I'd say 80% of Filipinos don't know how to swim, and it's kind of a shock seeing how that the ocean's everywhere around them. They go to the beach all the time. They just walk in. They don't really swim. And I see a lot of it when people come here to the house. We'll have a pool party and they stay in the kids' end. Now there are some that can swim, but it's a surprise to me. Back in our day, everybody knew how to swim. We went to swimming classes all the time. Like I said, I was a lifeguard, and that was a way of life. We had a community pool. Everybody showed up, and they learned how to swim. I mean, it's kind of different as far as that goes here. It's surprising, actually. But yeah, I mean, when things to do, what do you do here in the Philippines? You may ask. Well, one of the biggest things, and this could offend some people here, is the cockfights over here. They have cockfight arenas where you take your birds in, they compete against each other, and they fight to the death, and they bet. It's a gambling event, what it is, and it's completely different. I mean, it's against the law in the U.S., but here it's the culture. Now, I'm not a gambler, never have been. I do show up and I support my nephews. A lot of them raise them for this reason, and but you may not agree with it. I mean, I don't really care one way or the other. Uh, and then what happens is, let's say my nephew brings in three birds, and if he wins the fight, his cock wins the fight, rooster, then you keep the opposing chicken. And then what they do is when the event's all done at the end of the day, they go back, they buy some red horse, and they cook the chicken up. They make it into an event. So that's what the guys do over here. And they trust me, it's twice a week. It's Tuesday and Saturday are the days when they go down here. The arena is probably half a mile from where I live. But I don't know if any of you out here have experienced that before. But let me know if you have. If you agree with it, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. Shelly, yeah, it's shocking. Learning to swim is a mandatory. Yeah, no, that's what we did, Shelly. Everybody knew how to swim in the U.S. when I was growing up. I mean, that's the way. It was a way of life, and we didn't live. I lived 2 hours from the ocean, so it was all. Everybody went to the community pool. You'd see 40, 50 kids there, and it was pretty cool. Actually, it's the way it should be. Dennis, wow, that surprises me about kids here now. Yeah, no, it's me too. That could save them. Yeah, that could save their lives. Thanks, sir. Yeah, no, I believe me. I've worked with kids over here already. I get them here to the house. I've taught three or four kids how to swim that come to the house. Her nieces, nephews. I've worked with them. It's not difficult. They're just afraid. They're scared of the water. My pool's perfect because we have the kids end. It's only 3 foot deep, and then it goes up to 9 foot deep. I mean, I'm sorry, 6 foot deep in the deep end. So I can ease them in, and but I almost wish I even thought about teaching swimming classes here, but I don't want to get tied down because there's always I get all kinds of things I want to do. But yeah, no, you're right. It could save lives, and I there are programs here, but big here is diving. A lot of people go diving. If you go down to Darwin, it's nothing but dive resorts, and that's something I've never done, and I've actually thinking about doing it. But a good friend of mine, he has a dive resort, so I'd like to go down and try it out. I mean, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful the environment around here. I'd like to take advantage of it. My wife and I talked yesterday. We're going to make some day trips, probably down the coast. So you may see some videos coming up on some trips here. We're not sure yet where we're going to go or what we're going to do, but I'll keep you posted. Definitely. I mean, I'm very lucky. I get to travel around here. I haven't done a lot yet because we've got a lot of things going on, and you don't think you're busy. Yeah, you're retired, you get all kinds of time, but you'd be surprised how quick it goes. I mean, days go quick because you're always out doing something. We're always out helping people or spending time with family, or there's always something going on. Actually, the last 3 days been kind of quiet. We came through that typhoon that never really materialized. They really played it up over here. I was actually getting worried, and we didn't get anything. So, but that seems to be normal. So, oh, what else did I want to tell you? Oh yeah, when this is going to be something that may surprise you, but don't drink the tap water over here, guys. Um, unless it's filtrated, you got to filter because you could get a sickness. You could get stomach sickness. And one of the common things for expats coming over here is adjusting to the water, the food, things like that. We only buy the filtered water at the filtration water supply place right down the road. We get the great big 5 gallon jugs for like 20 peso. It's cheap. I've actually talked to my wife about buying a water filtrate to filtrate the water, but we don't have town water. We have a dug well. So I got to get it tested. Our water may be absolutely fine, but I just don't take the chance. I did get a stomach virus here um, about 6 months after we moved here. I was really sick for 2 days. And I think I ate something. I'm not sure what it was, but I probably got a hold of something bad. And it can happen. You got to be very careful. Be careful in the open markets on what you buy. I don't buy meat at an open market. Um, I hope that doesn't offend anybody, but I caution. I play side on the side of caution. I'd rather be safe. I don't want to get sick. And I've only been sick once, and that was that 2 day ordeal. I have a pretty good immune system, so I've always adjusted well. And but yeah, be careful. Um, don't drink the water, and be careful what you eat and where you eat. Okay, restaurants I highly recommend. Street food, depending on what it is, and I have a rule of thumb. I have eaten street food a lot on different occasions, but I have a rule of thumb. If they're busy, then that's the place I'm going to. If it's not busy, nobody's around, I tend to stay away. Usually, if it's busy, that means it's good. That's the way I reason with it. So it's always worked out good for me. And I believe me, there's a lot of good food over here. There's a lot of good restaurants in Dumaguete, and I haven't even touched the surface of them. I have a little list of places I want to try, and then when I do, I check it off my list. But yeah, it's fun to explore and try different things. Okay, Jim, do you trust service water at a restaurant? I I've never had a problem, Jim. I understand what you're saying. I'm assuming it's all either bottled or filtered. The last thing a restaurant wants is people they are getting sick from anything, whether it's the water or the food. If that happens, they would probably be out of business right off. So, and to answer that question, yeah, I do trust it. Um, I haven't never had an issue. Um, but yeah, they'd go out of business if, let's say, a bunch of people got sick from the water or the food. They're not going to be around long. Be the best rule of thumb, I guess, to look at. Shelly, yeah, I'm thinking some YouTube creators out there eating everything under the sun and get. Yeah, I no, that's not for me. And I know what you're saying, Shelly. I see it all the time too. I cringe when I watch that. I won't do that unless I know exactly where the food is coming from, or if it's at like a birthday gathering or a family get together, then I know, obviously. But I wouldn't just walk down um, any boulevard and start eating everything in sight. I mean, I'm sure it would be okay, but I'm not one to take a risk. At my age, I don't want to get sick, especially with the surgery and the heart condition I went through. I can't afford to get sick. So yeah, that would be something I'd really pay attention to is, watch what you eat. Um, you'll find a lot of good food. I mean, you'll find different things. I mean, we did the restaurant we go to all the time is that Lechin place right down off the boulevard in Dumaguete, and the food there is awesome. It's probably in my top five. I may have to redo my top five list because that would be in it right now. that would probably replace. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look at it. In Dumagetti, this is Jim. Jim in Dumagetti, I loved Jollibee. Not so much for the food, but because it was full of young people and they all seemed so, yeah, no. And I'm glad you brought this up, Jim. This is what something I wanted to talk about. Um, Jollibee, it's a national icon here, okay? Everybody loves Jollibee. You want to make a Filipino happy, bring Jollibee. Everybody loves it. And it's is it great food? No, it's fast food. Um, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fast food fan, but it's a way of life here. It really is. And as far as that, I wanted to bring this up. It's a great point Jim makes about being happy and positive. I get a kick out of it. It happened the other day. We're driving down the road, and this guy's coming down the road towards us on a motorbike, all alone, and he's smiling from ear to ear. And he doesn't have headphones on or anything. And I'm looking and I'm laughing. My wife said, "What's so funny?" I said, "This guy just driving down with nobody on the motorbike. I don't what is he grinning?" And something made him laugh. But that's how it is here. You walk through the mall, just walk through, because like I said earlier, I like to observe people and watch how everybody has smiles on their face. It's amazing to me, and it's great to see. I love it. I mean, it makes me smile. I'm like, I don't know what they're happy about, but they're happy. And that's the most important thing. And that is the best thing about the Philippines. That is a way of life here. Happiness is contagious, and being miserable is contagious. It's all in who you hang out with. So surround yourself. If you're coming over here for the first time, surround yourself with happy, good people, and you will be fine. Um, what motivates people? You stop, and if you start judging people by their money and all that, I mentioned it earlier. If you were to judge them the happiness on money here, everybody'd be miserable. But they don't do that. They're grateful for everything they have, as little as it might be. It's their life, and they're happy about it. And that's what is missing in America. The happiness is gone, and the positivity, Jim, like you said, is a great point. People are very positive here, and I'm going to do a video on something like that on a positive note. I've been thinking about it here lately. David Price, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for your comment. It says I laughed at Hawkeye's story about getting sick a lot. Yeah, found out the girlfriend was cooking rice. Okay, so yeah, you're proving my point. Um, it's it can happen, and that's what I try to avoid. That's why I brought the tap water thing up. I didn't hear about this story, but yeah, that's common. A lot of people get sick from the tap water. Um, that's why it's offered everywhere. I actually thought about opening up a water filtration ice business, and because ice is the other thing. You got to be careful with the ice. Are they making the ice with tap water? I know where I buy it. No, it's filtrated, but ice can be just as bad. If you take water out of the tap and put it in an ice cube tray and put it in your freezer, you could get sick. Um, I hate to say it, but it's reality. But yeah, Hawkeye is a YouTube creator. I think I've watched one of his videos before. Dave may have more information on that. Uh, I don't know much about him. Dennis, do you eat out a lot? No, we eat out probably 5, 6 times a week. Yeah, we do eat out a lot. But, yesterday my wife and I ate out last night, and the two of us cost us 600 peso. Okay. It was $11. So it doesn't cost much to eat out here. So we do. I mean, tonight I'm going to cook. I don't know what I'm cooking yet, but We tend to eat out quite a bit, um, but you can afford to eat out here. Oh yeah, okay, yes. I know. Yeah, it was on Paul's channel. David just said I saw him on Paul's channel. Yeah, I knew I had seen him somewhere. And I couldn't remember where. Yeah, I watch Paul, Old Dog, New Tricks. Yeah, but yeah, no, you can afford to eat out here. I mean, we eat out 5, 6 times a week, and we still spend less than $1,000 a month. Um, it's crazy. We couldn't do that. I remember eating out in the U.S. and it would cost my wife and I'd be $70, $80 to eat out. And I'm not exaggerating. Have a steak dinner and a beer, maybe 2 beers, and then a dessert. I never eat dessert, but it would be $80 here. Forget it. You know, it's way cheap. Dennis, wow. Me and the trophy wife spent, yeah, $81. That's exactly what I just said last time we went out to eat and eating Thai. Yeah, no, I mean, you can spend money. Don't get me wrong. There's places here that are expensive. There's some Western restaurants here that you can pay $20 a meal and up. Um, but if you go to the average place, it's less than $20 for two of you to eat. It just is. So we like to eat out because I don't have to cook. I'm at the point in my life where I don't really want to cook. And when we do, usually it's a big party. We'll have a big party outside, pool party. We'll grill on the grill out there. But other than that, we don't. I don't eat a lot anyway. I'll have like a breakfast. I'll have a bagel with honey on it, and I typically don't eat lunch. And then I'll have a big dinner. That's usually what I do. I'm not one I don't eat 3 meals a day. And that's the other thing here. They do. They eat 3 meals a day. They'll get up, they'll start eating at 7 o'clock in the morning. They'll have a big breakfast and forget it. If you don't like rice, well, I mean, you better get used to it because rice is king here. And so they eat rice a lot, obviously, with every meal. But they'll eat a big breakfast, they'll eat a big lunch, they'll eat a big dinner. And for me, it's like, no, I can't do that. Because I never have. I was always too busy. I was on a run all the time working in America. So I would have a snack in the morning, eat a big dinner, and I still do that. Oh, I might snack on occasion around noon or so, but I'll grab an apple or some grapes or whatever the case may be. But I don't typically get real hungry. Um, but that's an adjustment. This one other thing I wanted to talk about, guys, is money over here in the Philippines. Cash is king here, okay? When you come here, cards are not common. So you're going to want to use cash and get cash and get it in smaller bills. Don't get all 1000s, get 500s and get 100 peso bills. For the simple reason that a lot of times you'll go to, let's say, a fruit stand, and they're not going to have a lot of change. They don't have a lot of change. So if you pull out 1,000, chances are they're not going to have the change to give you back. So you're either going to have to get it broken somewhere, or you won't be able to make the purchase until they get enough change. It's not like they start a register with 1,000 peso and change. They don't. They don't do it that way here. A lot of things you purchase here are usually with exact money. So yeah, get yourself some pesos. Um, get it in small bills so you're flexible that way. Because trust me, I've run into it where they didn't have change, and that's why I wanted to bring it up to you guys to let you know you can expect it. Never carry a lot of money with you. Don't carry 30 or 40,000 peso with you unless you're going to make a purchase. If you're on your way to make a purchase, but don't carry it just to have it. Because if you do, and somebody knows you got some money on you, you could get mugged. You could get, robbed. Don't take the chance. Like when my wife and I go out, we use Gcash. They do take Gcash a lot of places here, and I highly recommend if you're going to live here to do that. Um, it's just a debit card's what it is. And if you are going to carry a wallet or something like that, never put it in your back pocket. Okay, put it in your front pocket. Um, that way, the pickpocketers they do exist here. So don't give them that opportunity. Carry it in your front pocket. It's very important. That seems to be the biggest crime over here. I talked to my nephew about it. He's a police officer. He said, "Yeah, the pickpocket is our biggest offender." So you keep that in mind when you're over here. Okay, Dennis, Joe, important. I'm the most impatient driver in Indiana. If I come out, should I spring? Yeah, I would. I don't drive here. I used to be the same way, Dennis. I was not one, not a patient driver at all. And it was nothing like here. I'm an impatient passenger here, actually. It drives me nuts. The thing that drives me crazy over here is the driving and the traffic. It really does. I don't know how my wife does it. She's a good driver. But yeah, most definitely get somebody to drive you around. You'll be much better off. It's too stressful otherwise. It really is. Don't put that stress upon you. And not only that, but if something did happen and you were driving, you're screwed. They're going to go after you because you're a foreigner and you've got some money behind you. That's the automatic assumption. So don't put yourself in that position. It's not worth it. It's cheaper to hire a driver and let them know where you want to go. All right, just ask Mark. When you moved there, how did you get over all the trash and the open poverty? Yeah, the trash drives me nuts. Dumagetti as a whole right now has improved a great deal. The mayor is really doing a good job in Dumagetti. I've noticed it openly. There's not half as much trash around as there used to be. When I first came here, that stuck in my mind completely. The poverty, you get used to it, and believe it or not, Mark, it's not as bad. Nowhere near as bad as it used to be. The poverty depends on where you go. But the Philippines, there's a lot of money over here now. People don't understand it. If you drive around Dumaguete, take a look at all the construction that's going on. This did not exist. That's why I did my Dumaguete video from 25 years ago, because it's changing a lot. There's a lot more things going on. A lot of people are building. So the poverty is not as big an issue now as it used to be. I mean, it's still there. But the trash thing, yeah, I mean, it's pretty bad up in my area around Bakong. The mayor hasn't cracked down on it around here. They put signs up, but nobody goes by the signs. They don't pay attention. So, I mean, it is a pet peeve of mine. And you don't, I don't know why people can't. There's trash cans everywhere. I don't know why they can't use them. I quite often will pick stuff up and bring it to the trash can, but you got to be careful too. You don't know who had it, and whatever. You don't want to be picking too much stuff up. If I do, I have gloves on. But anyway, so yeah, unless you guys got something else, let me know if there's something else you want to hear about or no. I have no problem hanging with you guys. Time is it? 10. We've been on for an hour and 15 minutes. And tell me if you hear this. I just hit my cheer button. Okay, Shelly. The local, nothing here. Okay, so I got to work on my soundboard. Thank you, Dennis. Shelly says the local news needs to run commercials like what we saw when we were kids, like the Native Americans standing on a hill. Yeah, no, you're right. It's sad to see here. It really is sad, and I don't understand it. But you need mayors to crack down. And like I said, Dumaguete's getting a lot better. And the mayor's down there is doing a good job. He's trying to enforce traffic laws. He went out and bought another 20 motorbikes for law enforcement. They're cracking down. They're writing tickets on people double parking. They're towing people away. He's really cracking down. He's coming out. He's made a lot of public statements about, we're enforcing traffic laws now. You need to wear a helmet. They're cracking down on that. There's a lot more checkpoints going up around the area. So this is what has to happen, because since I've moved here, one of the biggest things I've noticed is they don't enforce traffic laws here at all. But now this guy, he's stepping forward, and he is, and I'm really impressed. It's He's real serious about it, and you have to be, because if you get busted, you tend not to break the law twice. I mean, that's normal people's reaction. So with him cracking down and making people accountable and finding them, I think offense one is a warning. Offense two is $1,000 peso fine, 1,000 peso fine. And offensive three, they're going to confiscate your vehicle, bike, and impound it. He's already come right out and stated that. So that's going to make people pay attention. But Dennis, Joe, I'm heading to bed. Go back to the rat race tomorrow, and you're heading to your pool. Thank you, Dennis, very much for being on. Appreciate you, buddy. You sleep well, and I'll talk to you soon. I'll be doing a members stream here right off. Hopefully by Friday is my plan. So have a good night. Sleep well. Thank you. But yeah, so what I'm saying is it takes people holding people accountable to get things done around here. Unfortunately, it's never happened. It's never been the case. So he's got his work cut out for him, but he's really cleaning the city up. And now he's working on the traffic. I mean, Dumaguete is a beautiful city. And now when I go down by the boulevard, I'm not seeing trash all over the place. So, Mark, yeah, I mean, it's getting better around Dumaguete. It really is. But I'll never forget the first time I was here. I shook my head, because one thing about America is very clean. And, they have state crews, and people are pretty responsible for the most part when it comes to their own trash. Not everywhere, not all the time, but I will say America is much cleaner than it is here, at least from my experience. Now, it depends on where you go. I know Manila is a complete shithole. Um, I don't like Manila. I'm not a Manila fan. We don't even go to the airport. And I shouldn't say this, because my wife has 5 siblings that live there, but I stay away from it. Mark, trash in Cebu City. Yeah, it's a major issue. Yeah, I was just saying about Manila. Same thing. I noticed it too, Mark, when I was in Cebu. I like Cebu, but I don't like Cebu City. When we go over that area, we usually go. I don't know if you've been there, but go to Plantation Bay, Mark. I know you talked about you're making a trip over here shortly. If you've never been to Plantation Bay, it's a beautiful resort, and it's not too far from the city. I think it's probably half an hour, 45 minutes. But it's a beautiful resort. I'm sure it still is. I haven't been there for a few years. I'm sure it's still nice. It's a little on the expensive side, but it's a beautiful place. But yeah, the city itself in Cebu is a nightmare. I like to go there. I like Landers. Landers is awesome. There's rumors that Landers is going to build a store here in Dumaguete. I hope that's the case. I can find a lot of Western products there, like my Sweet Baby Ray's, which I can find here actually in Gilchrist down here in Dumaguete. But there's a lot of American products that Landers does carry, and they got great pizza. There was a pizza place there, the one up in Manila, that was awesome. So Yeah, Mark, when are you getting ready to make the trip? It's right off, isn't it? Within a week or two? I know you had mentioned a while back you were flying over to meet with some of your employees, or not sure when, but I knew you were getting close. And how long are you going to be here? Like, it'd be cool to hook up with you. Maybe we can make a trip to Cebu. But yeah, that's probably my biggest pet peeve is the traffic and the trash. First week of April, okay, so we're a ways away. But yeah, keep me posted. Um, if you're going to be here for a long period of time, like definitely, if you're only going to be here for a week or two, it'll be hard to meet up. But so I'm sure you're busy. But it'd be cool to hook up. But there's a lot of good things in Cebu. A lot of good things to do over there. I like the airport. We always fly into Cebu. We stop going into Manila. I don't like the airport. I don't like anything about it. It's still pretty good in Cebu. And we stayed at the hotel right across the street. Oh boy, what's the name of it? I can't remember now, but you literally walk across the street. It's a nice place. They got a casino and everything there. But that's where we always fly in. And your tickets should be pretty cheap right now, Mark. Tickets have gone down. They've gone way down. We paid like $700 round trip for tickets to America and back. Oh, you're in Cebu for 10 days. Okay, so it's going to be hard, but I'm going to extend it a bit. Okay. I've never been down to Dumaguete, so I'm thinking of swinging down. Okay, well, good. Let me know. Yeah, that'd be awesome. You can stay here if you want. We have the bed and breakfast here. I can take you around. I can provide you with transportation. I'm not going to charge you, obviously, but I can pick you up at the airport and I can bring you right here, show you around Dumaguete. If that's something you want to do, if you're interested, definitely do that for you. You're a big supporter of mine. I really appreciate that. Yeah, we can grab a nice dinner somewhere. That'd be cool. There's a lot of good places to eat, depending on what you like. Round trip from KC was 950. Wow, okay. Yeah, so I guess I don't know. My wife found the deal. Yeah, we I think we paid just over 700 round trip to Boston from Cebu City. Well, okay, guys. My my mouth is getting dry from running my mouth too much. It's fine. I don't mind. Yeah, I hope everybody over there is having a good day, great day, surviving the weather. I feel bad for you guys. Spring's right around the corner. Just think spring. I need to have her book my next flight. Yeah, yeah, I know. My wife's good at that. She's very cheap, so she always looks for deals. Oh, Dennis, I thought you were sleeping. Will you stop? You don't have to keep doing this. Thank you very much, though, sir. You're more than generous. Yeah, I hit my goal. Thank you. I'm just waiting on. I need 4 more subscribers for February. That's where I'm really looking to go. If I can get 4 more, I'm not subscribers, memberships. I need 4 more members. That's my goal for February. 20 away on subscribers as far as my goal for February. I probably should have talked about this earlier, but it's not my priority. I'm at 1,580 subscribers. Mark, thank you for the coffee. Thank you. Really appreciate that. You guys really are awesome. It means a lot to me. But yeah, I need 20 more subscribers for February. I shouldn't have a problem getting that. And I need 4 more memberships and 3 more super chats for the month. So I'm well on my way. I really appreciate it. I set these goals just because I've always been goal oriented. It's not, I'm not asking you guys. I'm just, I always set goals for myself. And then now this enables me to do a bunch of different things for the channel. So whatever money I do get, I'm putting right back into my channel. And like I said earlier, we're soon going to make a trip, a day trip, maybe overnight. Maybe we'll go back to Sikihor. I've been there 3 times, but I can't get enough of Sikihor. If you can spend time over here, I'd highly recommend it. And that's the other thing, guys. I will be more than willing to help you navigate around. If you want to go somewhere, if you want to go to Sikihor, I'm more than willing to go with you. I'm willing to take time. I mean, I got nothing else to do. And I don't mind taking trips, trust me. And I can show you where to go, best things to do. I could be your travel guide. And I'll pay for my own way. I'm not asking for that either. But I want things to be smooth and successful for any one of you guys that want to come over. That's why I did this channel. I want life to be easy for you. I wish I had this opportunity when I first came here. I came over here without a cell phone. I mean, it was shoot by the hip. But that's me. That's how I am. It didn't bother me at all. Most guys are scared to death. They would never do that. They're like, I even have a good friend. My best friend in high school says, I don't know how you do it, Joe. I said, what do you mean? You put yourself out there. Why are you doing that? That's what I mean by put myself out there. You're exposing your life to everybody. I said, well, that's me. I don't have anything to hide. Whatever. I like to talk with people. I like to meet people. I'm a people guy, people person. Always have been. I mean, that comes from my line of work growing up. Um, you can't shut me up. My wife, every time we go somewhere, she's like, oh, here we go again. I find somebody to talk to, and I'll sit there and talk for half an hour. I met a guy at the pharmacy. I mentioned this, but he had a cowboy shirt on, and I went up, started talking to him. We talked football for half an hour. I said, simply started the conversation by, I'm sorry you're a Cowboys fan. He starts laughing. And then he's just like me. His wife had to drag him out. So I'm actually inviting him over to the house. But I met him at the pharmacy. That's how I am. I'm not afraid to approach people. If I see something they like the cowboy shirt, that's a talking point for me, and then we'll start the conversation. But that's the way I am. I've always been that way. So yeah, I do put myself out there, but I'm not too concerned about it. You guys that attend and support me all the time, you're I feel like you're part of my family. You really support. I really appreciate you. Mark, thanks again so much, and Dennis, you're unbelievable. I I can't wait for you to come out here. And when you do, you can stay here. I'm not charging. Mark, same thing. You can stay at my bed and breakfast. You guys have been more than supportive, and I'm not going to charge you to stay here. I'll guide you around. I'll do what I can to help you out. It's not about the money. It's about developing that relationship and that friendship. That's what I'm here for. But again, thanks a lot. Appreciate that. Um, I think, Mark, you would really like it over here. It's a different experience. Um, Travel as much as you can, take in as much as you can. You never know what you're going to like. I don't know what people like, what they don't like, but you'll figure it out once you're here. It didn't take me long to figure out I wanted to be here. After my second visit, I was like, yeah, I like the people. And that's the biggest drawing card about the Philippines is the people. Um, if they were rude and obnoxious, like when I get off the airplane in America, that's how they treat you, then I probably wouldn't have moved here. I can get that back in America, but it's not the case. They're smiling all the time. So yeah, you'll if you've never been here, you're gonna notice a big difference. But if there's anything else you want to know about, let me know. An upcoming video. My wife is getting the information together on shipping your dog over. I got a bunch of paperwork I'm gathering up. It's quite a process to ship your dog over here. Our dog happened to be 85 pounds. He's a big lab. And so he was very expensive to ship him here. and it is quite a process. So I'm getting that information together now. So I would say within the next week, we'll probably have a video coming out on that. Um, I don't know if there's anything else in particular you want to know about, whether it's here or getting here, expenses as far as that goes, what's expensive. Mark, you got a pretty good deal on that airline ticket, actually. When we came over here, it was $1,400 one ticket for each one of us, and that was one way. It wasn't even round trip. But it's funny, that's changed a lot in the last year. But so 950 is not a bad price. But shop around. I'm not the kind to shop around. My wife is. She will go ahead and she'll spend an hour looking for the best deal. But that's because she grew up making $3 a day. Okay. So your money is valuable. Money's valuable here. It really is. Mark, thanks for all the info, Joe. You're a good man. Got to run. Okay, Mark, thank you. I'll catch you soon. All right. Have a good night. And thanks for attending and thanks for my coffee. Really appreciate that. Means a lot to me. Sleep well. Bye bye now. But yeah, you tend. Uh, my wife, she does all the finances. I let her handle it all. She does a great job. I'm not. I don't spend a lot of money, but when I do, it's usually a pretty big purchase. Um, I let her handle it, and she's been fantastic. She's one of the biggest reasons why we're here because she put a budget together. We set some goals and we achieved them. Um, and I'm lucky because I know I've got friends of mine that are married to Filipino wives, and they're the opposite. They spend money like there's no tomorrow. I mean, they can't spend it quick enough, and they don't want anything to do with the Philippines. They don't want to come here, and it's kind of sad actually. But I'm lucky. I don't have that experience. My wife's been very, very good with finances, and she's not one that she won't spend money unless it's going to be beneficial. And I'm the same way. So when it comes to that, that's why we probably get along so well. She's always worked hard for her money. She made great money in the U.S. working in an accountant as an accountant in the Omni Resorts, one of the largest five-star resort company in America. She was way up there, and she did well, made good money. She left a really good job, making a lot of money to come here, actually. But it's not about the money. It's about taking your time, enjoying your life, and going back to home where it all started. Um, can't stress that enough. It's Philippines is not for everyone. Don't get me wrong. It's not. I mean, you may get over here and you say, I can't handle the heat. I don't like the food. It's dirty. There's too much poverty. And that's fine if that's how you are. I accept it. I adjust to it. And that's what you will find yourself doing. You will adjust. You'll find your way. I have my routine. It took me a while to get it, but I have a routine now and I like my routine. I'm up the same time every day. I do pretty much the same thing. I go to the pool, I swim for an hour, I get out, do a few things, and I'll hit the pool later in the day. Um, so there's things you will find yourself. You'll get comfortable. I guess is my bottom line here. But okay, unless anybody else has got something, I can. I'm going to probably sign off here, and really appreciate you guys. It was a good time. I appreciate being on. I've had a good time today doing this stream, and we'll do the same thing next Wednesday, 9 o'clock, uh, my time in the morning, 8 p.m. your time. So let me know. If not, I'll just go ahead and sign out. We'll end the stream. Good night to all of you in America, and good morning to anybody that's here from the Philippines, have a great night and have a good morning. So thanks, guys. Bye again.